Hey guys, and welcome back to Smoking Ape Reviews. In Little Nightmares the Third, the series known for creeping dread, childlike vulnerability, and surreal horror returns, but this time with a twist. Developed by Supermassive Games and published by Bandai Namco, this entry aims to preserve the franchise's signature nightmare atmosphere, while adding something new, full co-op gameplay. But does this new direction deepen the horror, or dilute what made Little Nightmares so special? Let's find out. Background and expectations. First, it's not made by Tarsier Studios, the team behind the first two games. Instead, Supermassive Games, best known for Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures anthology, took over development. That instantly raised eyebrows. Supermassive excels at cinematic horror, but could they capture the quiet, wordless terror of Little Nightmares? Second, the game introduces cooperative play for the first time. Players control two new protagonists, Lo and Alone. Lo carries a bow, while Alone wields a wrench. Each has unique abilities used to solve environmental puzzles and overcome threats. You can play online with a friend or solo with an AI companion. The setting, known as The Spiral, is a collection of strange, dreamlike worlds. Each realm has its own twisted logic and monstrous inhabitants, from a haunting carnival to a grotesque candy factory. Expectations were sky high. Could the game retain its unique brand of melancholy horror while embracing this more social, action-oriented approach? Story and setting. The story of Little Nightmares the Third follows Lo and Alone, two children trapped in the Spiral, a surreal realm filled with distorted beings, decaying structures, and shifting logic. There's no clear sense of why they're there or what's real. Like the earlier games, storytelling is almost entirely visual and environmental. There's no dialogue, no text, no cut-and-dry exposition. Instead, everything is told through movement, lighting, and subtle symbolism. You interpret what's happening by what you see and feel. That ambiguity remains one of the series' strongest traits. Each level is a world with its own theme. Carnival, a warped amusement park full of puppet-like clowns and broken rides. Candy Factory, a sticky, industrial nightmare mixing childhood whimsy with decay. Necropolis, a desert realm of wind-worn ruins and shadowy dwellers. Every realm has a dominant resident, the monstrous entity that rules it, much like the janitor or the Thin Man from earlier entries. These figures embody exaggerated adult fears and human flaws, gluttony, control, vanity, all filtered through a child's imagination. Thematically, the game explores connection and dependency. Lo and Alone rely on one another to survive, and their cooperation stands in contrast to the isolation of previous protagonists. That emotional core gives the narrative a slightly more hopeful undercurrent, even amid despair. Gameplay mechanics and systems. Core loop. At its heart, Little Nightmares the Third remains a blend of platforming, stealth, and puzzle solving. You sneak past giant enemies, pull levers, push crates, and use tools to escape claustrophobic spaces. It's all about tension moments of calm, punctuated by sudden panic. What's new here is the two-character system. If you play solo, the AI controls your partner and helps with tasks. If you play online, a friend takes over the second character. You'll need to coordinate. One might hold a door open while the other crawls through a vent, or one distracts a monster while the other flips a switch. Abilities? Lo's bow lets you hit distance switches, cut ropes, or distract enemies. Alone's wrench allows you to smash barriers, jam gears, or manipulate mechanisms. Together, they create more layered puzzles. While still fairly simple, they demand timing and communication. Stealth and encounters. The monsters or residents remain horrifying. Each one moves unpredictably, groans in unsettling ways, and towers over the children. Stealth sections force you to move slowly, hide under tables, or use sound cues to sneak past. When spotted, chases erupt frantic sequences where you sprint through collapsing hallways or slide under closing doors. These sequences are beautifully choreographed, blending fear with cinematic momentum. Controls and feel. Controls feel slightly tighter than in Little Nightmares 2, though some players might still find jumps and physics interactions a bit floaty. The AI partner performs competently, but can occasionally act too independently, solving puzzles almost automatically, which may make solo play feel less rewarding. Duration. Expect around 5 hours for a standard playthrough. It's a short game, but densely packed. Replay value comes from exploring secrets, replaying in co-op, or searching for hidden collectibles that reveal bits of lore. Visuals and art direction. Visually, Little Nightmares the Third is stunning and disturbing. Supermassive has preserved the franchise's unique look. Part Tim Burton, part European fairy tale, part industrial rot. Every area feels handcrafted and full of symbolism. The carnival is both colorful and decayed, laughter twisted into screams. The candy factory glistens with sugar and blood sweetness turned grotesque. The necropolis feels vast and dry, echoing with whispers and the sound of sand. Lighting plays a massive role. Flickering bulbs, shafts of light breaking through dust, or the dim glow of a furnace create atmosphere more effectively than any dialogue could. The creature design is equally impressive. Faces stretch too far, limbs bend wrong. Movements are almost human, but not quite. These distorted shapes invoke empathy and disgust at the same time. It's nightmare fuel done with artistry. Overall, the visual direction continues the series' excellence. It's not about realism, but about emotion through imagery. Every frame feels like a painting born from anxiety. Sound, music, and atmosphere. If visuals set the tone, sound seals it. Every drip of water, every distant creak, every muffled breath matters. The soundscape is minimalist, but rich, with moments of silence that are almost unbearable. You'll hear the hum of machinery, the slosh of footsteps through mud, and the distorted cries of unseen creatures. The music is used sparingly. When it appears, it's eerie and fragile music boxes, off-key lullabies, faint strings. It rises only during key moments, a chase, a reveal, or a collapse. There's no voice acting. Emotion is conveyed through body language, sound design, and music alone. This restraint makes the experience immersive and personal. You fill the silence with your own unease. Pacing, strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. Atmosphere. The tone, tension, and sense of place are impeccable. Art direction. Every environment tells a story. The grotesque beauty is unforgettable. Co-op play adds a refreshing social dimension. Solving puzzles together can be magical. Emotional resonance. Low and Alone's partnership brings warmth and humanity to the horror. Cinematic sequences chase moments are visually spectacular and tightly paced. Weaknesses. Short length, around 5 hours for most players. Limited depth puzzles are simple. Tools aren't fully utilized. AI partner issue solo mode sometimes feels like the game is playing itself. Safe formula doesn't innovate much beyond co-op. Minor control hiccups. Some jumps and physics interactions can frustrate. Despite these issues, the pacing is mostly excellent. Each chapter escalates tension, alternating between quiet exploration and bursts of panic. The rhythm of calm, fear, and release keeps you engaged from start to finish. Conclusion and final thoughts. Little Nightmares the Third is a haunting, beautifully crafted continuation of the series. It doesn't radically reinvent the formula, but it deepens it through co-op and richer world building. Its biggest strengths, art direction, sound, and mood, easily outweigh its shortcomings in length and complexity. While the AI can sometimes overstep and the puzzle stays simple, the game's emotional weight and aesthetic mastery make it memorable. If I had to give it a score, it would fall around 8 out of 10. It's a beautiful nightmare brief, haunting and worth experiencing, especially with a friend. Little Nightmares 3 reminds us that horror doesn't need gore or jump scares to be effective. Sometimes, it just takes two small figures, holding hands in the dark, walking toward the unknown.